What's going on, Foam Fam? If you just tuned in because you might have been shopping at Target and in the toy aisle you came across this and you wanted to know a little bit more about it, you've come to the right place. Let's get into it. A few weeks ago, I made my own predictions through a video on this channel on the direction Dart Zone as a company was moving towards. I took what many may have thought was a shot in the dark at the time, and it was in part against some of my wishes. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of the red and gray, now legacy style of Dart Zone Max and Pro blasters. That video was more of a brace for impact and get ready for the new, which would eventually materialize with the announcement and the eventual delivery of their new blasters. So far, we're getting two offerings in this Max color scheme, which seems to be the central branding of Dart Zone. They do have a Walmart partner branding called Adventure Force, which is a general branding for toys. We'll get into that a little later in the video, but this is what you'll see for the most part when you're shopping online at dartzone.com and if you walk into a Target. This here is the Max Stryker 2.0. It is a second generation of what you may have seen recently up to a few years back since 2022, the original Stryker. The second offering in this lineup is their motorized blaster, and that is the Venom Pro, which we will be covering in the next Dart Zone review video after this one. Today, we're gonna take a look at the Stryker 2.0. This is new for 2024. It is the latest Pro Springer offering from Dart Zone as a company as a whole. This is a full-fledged competition rifle style blaster. I'm very impressed with this product, but we're gonna get into why that is towards the end of the video. First, I'm gonna take you through a normal unboxing, and then we're going to do a little bit of a range test that includes a chronograph analysis with a couple of different tips, including without a tip, and then some outdoor shooting, and then my final thoughts. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, much of the included contents from this blaster are visible right from the box. We can see that Dart Zone has actually incorporated a little bit of their own hydro dip style graphics on their blaster, similar to how X-Shot has been doing for a while. Really nice to see that Dart Zone went the electromechanical route with these gears and coils and just a very nice sci-fi aesthetic onto what otherwise is a complete new reboot in their theme colors. We're used to the grays and the reds of old, and now they're switching to something that screams, I am a blaster. A lot easier to tell apart from the real pew-pews. We could see a change in the front grip from the old underpump design from the first Stryker. Definitely one of the things making waves in the community is the interchangeability of mag to drum on the fly. The community is, at the end of the day, where this originated for the Tomcat. We remember the mods for that. We have a lighter gray, we have a darker gray, we have this lime green, and then we have the greeble here. Nice little graphic here, and a minimalistic scope that combines a front sight for quick target acquisition. Gonna go ahead and get these contents out of the box and go over them. Let's get to it, guys. All right, guys, so in the packaging, you get your blaster, 12 round mag, which comfortably fits 15 rounds. I have tried it and it does indeed work. 24 round optional drum. If you do want to use this drum, you replace this mag adapter and then insert the drum to use that. A pretty generous 40 count of their, what would be the 4th generation bamboo, which they're calling it the Bamboo Nitro Shot Plus series. These have a 3 rib construction, and if you watch their latest podcast, their intention behind this design was so that the dart can actually perform well also in flywheelers. New 6-line P-car, which I believe was the same one that was provided in the Nexus Pro X. This is different from their previous P-car offering of 4 lines that we had with the Mark IV blaster, so it's always nice to see further iteration and design. Of course, we have what they're calling the fun barrel. This is just something that you put at the end of your blaster, especially in areas where the competition strictly demands a highly orange colored front end to your blaster. Now, this P-cart does have a little Picatinny mount, which you can mount it on the side of the blaster as shown here, or you can mount it to the top rail as long as it does not impede your scope sight. The blaster does come with a small little open style scope and a front sight that you can align when you're sighting with that scope. Now, despite of this extra little flared end on the P-car, the little fun tip, which they're calling, does not plug into that, so you have to use either one or the other. Last but not least, you have this very cool new style of iPro. This one does not say Dart Zone Max on it, but it's just a new style. I'm personally a big fan of their previous style, but what matters is that they offer protection to begin with. These are adjustable for different ear to face distances. I really appreciate them including that. And now let's just discuss the many incredible features that this blaster has, some which are kind of hidden but very important, and I'll make sure to point those out. Let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, we got the blaster here in the flesh. Very attractive shell. I put the drum in, but release of the adapter is very easy. Both the adapter and the drum has this little ear here on the front where it basically slots in from here, and you release them both the same. Now there is a pusher that goes through both the drum and the mag adapter, so of course you do need to prime the blaster so that you can remove either one. But the process is very, very easy. Just always make sure that your arrow is pointing to the front of the blaster when you insert it, just like that. Very, very easy, very user-friendly. And you always have a nice printed manual if you're ever in doubt of how anything works on this blaster. I'm liking the fact that we have that option in the front for both the included scar barrel and muzzle attachment. I guess the muzzle attachment allows you to shoot a lot further at the cost of accuracy. And of course, when you put the P-car on, it allows you to shoot more accurate at the cost of distance. What do you guys say we give it a little test drive and see how it shoots? Let's get it, guys. First, I want to talk about a couple of engineering choices that Dart Zone made that absolutely blew me away. Now, I know that the Nexus Pro X might share a few attributes with this blaster, but I never really got around to reviewing that blaster. You can find a lot of good reviews on YouTube for that one. However, according to Dart Zone, a lot of these features cross over to that blaster. The first one I was really happy to see was the roller bearing that is incorporated into the upper back of the prime handle. What this does is that it prevents the torsional stress of pulling back your prime from stressing the entire carriage out. And what it does is it stabilizes, it keeps this stress longitudinal along the axis of the carriage. This helps a lot for wear and tear. It'll help your blaster last a lot longer, but that's not where it ends. There's also an additional bearing in here, which allows the carriage assembly itself to stabilize against the aluminum barrel directly. So there's two stabilization mechanisms built into this blaster's prime carriage. There's one that allows the handle to smoothly ride on the body of the blaster itself, and there's another one that allows the carriage itself to ride smoothly on the barrel. That is incredible for what is otherwise a $50 blaster. Now, I'm not sure if the Nexus has both, but I was really happy to see this, and I believe very strongly that that's one of the reasons why Dart Zone was able to put so much power into this blaster. Every little piece of engineering that enables a smoother prime allows you to have a stronger plunger system for your blaster, and I believe they succeeded in achieving that. Another thing that I like is the ease of swap when it comes to the drum and the magazine adapter. Prior to this, Dart Zone had two offerings, one that was a dedicated drum blaster in the form of the Tomcat, which you guys remember, and then of course they had the Stryker 1.0, which in addition to full-length darts would also be able to fire half-length darts. But what they decided to do with this design falls in line more with the direction this hobby is headed. A lot more people are migrating from the full-length darts to the half-length darts permanently as it suits their playstyle more. Now, I would be the first person to tell you that full-length darts do have their place in this hobby because I love full-length darts, and I'm happy that Dart Zone is one of the few companies keeping them alive with the Nitro Shot line. However, this is a competition blaster. It's meant to be used in a competitive space, and I'm pretty sure that's why Dart Zone took the decision to put dual feeding system of a 24-round drum or a magazine with this blaster. And it does come with the drum and the 12-round magazine, which by the way fits 15 very comfortably in this blaster. Changing of these components is very easy. You just have to pull the prime back because this is a pusher breech blaster. We spoke about this in the Pyro Raptor review that I did a couple of weeks ago. You want to get that pusher out of the channel where this magazine is inserted, and then you can pull the magazine out, or you can pull them both out and then switch over to the drum. Equally, if you just want to pull the magazine out, you could literally just grab onto the magazine only and just pull that out. Also, this blaster has dual magazine release levers for when you're doing offhand unloads and reloads. And then you have a pull lever right under your trigger finger, which you can use your middle finger, or if your hands are big enough like mine, you could use your index finger to release your mag as well. I thought that was pretty incredible. And then you just obviously return your pusher to the front, which will also load a dart, and then you're ready to fire. What I like about this blaster as opposed to prior iterations, including the Mark IV, is that the SCAR that comes with it is a 6-line P-car. 6 lines will put a more aggressive spin on your dart, hence increasing its accuracy even more. That's also a reason why I developed a T-car sleeve that fits over your 6-line factory Dart Zone P-car, in addition to offering my own 6-line P-car as well if you want that uniform look. Additionally, you get this if you're just looking for lots of FPS and not necessarily accurate, although the differential, at least with the rubies and the bamboos that I was running, was only about 15 to 20 FPS. It was pretty incredible to see that this blaster was hitting over 190 even with the P-car. With the included bamboos and the Max Solos bamboos, which I believe are the 1.5s or the 2.0s, this blaster was hitting in the 204s with the P-car. That's pretty crazy. But then again, there are some shortcomings to using a lighter bamboo dart with accuracy at longer ranges, so just take that into consideration. Build construction already feels like an improvement even over the last generation. The plastic, the rigidity, the blaster just doesn't have that bending and creaking that Dart Zone blasters have been known to have just due to being off-the-shelf toy blasters. I thought the blasters were fine, but this one just has that extra sense of rigidity that you would expect from something like Game Face or even a worker product. I really appreciate the effort that was taken into the rigidity and structural integrity of this blaster. The graphics and the hydro dip kind of design are really cool. It's something that we're seeing a lot of nowadays in these blasters. We started seeing it a lot with X-Shot designs, and then Nerf jumped on board. Ultimately, Dart Zone also jumped on board, and I really like that they went with that electromechanical kind of futuristic graphic design here on the blaster. Kind of offsets this lime green really nicely. To me, contrast is very important when it comes to designs, and this blaster just nails it perfectly. And the bright color also ensures that you can take this to an open park competition and not have to worry about local law enforcement and such things. Square pin buffer stock right here that slides in. It seems to have 5 positions. If you have long arms like myself, you could adjust it for your best ergonomic setting. One screw right here allows this little cap to pop open for a quick spring swap, something that I had not seen in previous models. I can confirm that the Nexus X Pro also has it, so look out for that if you prefer that blaster for whatever reason. Right now it's going for $49.99 US. Like I said, you could pick it up at Target or order it online and pick it up at Target, and you could also order it at Dart Zone through their website. They have really cool promotions and sales going on all the time for these products. I say this one falls into the category of no-brainer. I'm definitely enjoying mine, and I know you will enjoy yours. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, please share it with your friends and family. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay blasting, foam fam.